want to emphasize that they did not address the Trinity at all. We addressed all of their complaints against the Quran, against monotheism, against Tawheed. They haven't even started to defend the Trinity. So this is a fail.
The topic is Trinity versus Tawheed. He just wants to attack the Trinity, thinking that Tawheed wins by default. Maybe you didn't hear what I said. The Quran must have a mind independent from your God if the Quran is going to argue with your God in the individual chapters. Umama said he heard Allah's messengers say, recite the Quran, for on the day of resurrection, it will come as an intercessor for those who recite it. How does the speech of Allah intercede with Allah if it's a speech of Allah? Is Allah speaking to himself in a different mode? Then you are a modalist. So your Tawheed is modalism. But then it gets worse for you. Recite the two bright ones, Al-Baqarah and Surah Imran, chapters 2 and 3. For on the day of resurrection, they will come as two clouds or two shades or two flocks of birds in ranks, pleading for those who recite them. Pleading with who? With themselves? If the surahs of the Quran can appear independently, separately, and appear in visible form and argue with Allah, that's either your God being schizophrenic, arguing with himself in different modes, or you have now separate gods arguing with one another, so you're a polytheist, or you have to believe that Tawheed encompasses a plurality of distinct entities who can then interact and argue with one another. So don't run and evade with your smoke and mirror tactics. Deal with the issue. You didn't understand what I meant about your God's body parts, even though you don't like to use the term body parts. And no, not all the Sunnis define the hand of Allah as meaning what you mean, because you have those that say that it's a metaphor for his power. You do not believe this. So I'm still trying to figure out, do you believe in a finite God who assumes time and space? Because if he has a hand, two right hands, what happened to his left? Maybe you can explain. He has a shin, he has loins. That means he's an embodied being. If he's an embodied being, he requires space. Unless you want to create another contradiction with your irrational Salafi anthropomorphism.